It is the great Brexit trade-off on trade that is still not settled. Remain within a new customs union within Europe to protect existing trade flows in manufacturing, or cut free and sign new deals elsewhere. 18 months on from the referendum, the government yet to make up its mind. The government says we will leave this trading arrangement that ensures the free flow of parts and goods without checks, helping, for example, the car industry, but that free flow requiring a common external tariff around all the EU countries, and that limits the ability to do new trade deals abroad. For that reason, the government ruled out staying in the customs union, but now it's making preparations to allow it to rejoin immediately a customs union covering the same area as Turkey has done for the past 2 decades. Indeed, the message in ports around the country used to the free flow of European trade, such as Portsmouth, is that they need clarity on huge changes that could hit within months.
About 40% of the UK's trade is on roll-on, roll-off, and it's usually this just-in-time supply chain. Could be fresh produce, could be car parts, and so any delays could have a disastrous economic effect.
Morning, Foreign Secretary.
The Phase 1 agreement, particularly on the Irish border, puts the customs union back on the agenda, and it's talk of a new one that's caused big new splits in cabinet, with a proxy war being fought between the CBI with other business organisations and Tory Eurosceptic groupings.
The CBI, which seems to be the provisional wing of the Treasury, is pushing for it, and this is a great mistake. That the customs union will mean higher prices of food, clothing and footwear. This is very difficult. If we leave the customs union and join a customs union, it'll have to be very similar to the customs union.
So it's just a semantic game then?
The fear must be that this is to get us back into the customs union by the back door.
The government repeatedly tells everybody that the United Kingdom is going to leave the customs union of the European Union. And yet, at the very same time, it is legislating with this bill to allow fast-track powers to form a new customs union with the European Union, and not just that. It specifically allows government ministers to apply a common external tariff too.
Morning, Prime Minister.
And yet the PM specifically said no to this at Lancaster House.
I do not want Britain to be part of the common commercial policy, and I do not want us to be bound by the common external tariff.
In the Lancaster House speech, the Prime Minister said, "I do not want us to be bound by the common external tariff." It seems to be rowing back from the Lancaster House speech.
I am as confused as you are as to why anyone in the Treasury would want to undermine the Prime Minister. If Treasury civil servants are undermining the Prime Minister, that is a constitutional issue of considerable importance.
But for the business groups, it is a simple equation that right now, putting friction in the bulk of trade with the continent is not outweighed by the current prospects for quick new trade deals elsewhere. Meanwhile, businesses clamouring for details of how the customs systems will work, whether checks for the origin of manufacturing parts will occur. Last year, Brexit Forensics reported that car companies were disillusioned with a lack of detail in plans in areas where basic preparation is required, such as the port infrastructure around Dover. Concern remains.
It's not just the motorways that we need solutions for. We need lorry parks, not just in the M20 but in other parts of the country. We need to make sure that the traffic can flow not just on the motorways but in the towns and villages of Kent as well.
But you can't put in planning approvals for lorry parks or anything without a firm cabinet position for new customs arrangements. That, incredibly, still being debated in private, the argument not yet settled and really rather fierce. Faisal Islam, Sky News.